And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, Keith Fustel. We're live here on the Jockey's Porch at Pimlico. And well, last Saturday this time we had some of the best horses in the world, trainers and jockeys. This morning we have some of the future stars of the game, the pony races out here this morning.
I'm telling, just caught the last race. Was that the larger pony race?
Yep,
I'm not, astute with all of the lingo, but couple jocks looking pretty strong.
Looking good.
Winner came on the far outside with a big surge. Whoever was on the lead there riding a two-horse looked pretty good. Might have a nice little future.
Yeah. Well, there's been some jockeys coming out of the pony races, so they bring lots of families out here in the morning, so good to see them. We'll have one more pony race for you right after the first race, but lots to get to today. 10 races today. We'll be on the turf today as well. Fast and firm the conditions. Some nice payouts yesterday. They had the pick six on Thursday for $185,000. Some nice payouts yesterday in the last race. We were just looking at late pick five. Paid almost $10,000.
Almost $10,000. The late pick four close to $5,000, $4,800. And it started with a $2.80 winner, a 2-year-old, and we may have to keep an eye on a horse by the name of He Hate Me for Sagamore. Broke slow, kind of missed the break, made a nice wide move, and had something in reserve. Put him on your stable mail. He Hate Me. Good name. Named after that football player, He Hate Me, right?
Was it? They named lots of their names after sports names and stuff. You like that. Of course, the Redskins quarterback. And He Hate Me. Another 2-year-old by Algorithms, who in Sagamore has that other nice 3-year-old by Algorithms recruiting ready.
Oh, yeah. Not doing too bad. Hitting pretty well with that stallion.
All right, so nice 2-year-old there. He Hate Me. Some nice payouts yesterday. We have a bunch of big fields today, so make sure the multi-race wagers have been getting played very well recently, so make sure you jump in. Both Keith and I have tickets for those races today. Gabby Gaudette, she'll be on with me this afternoon with some tickets. Let's show you what's coming up, though. This Monday will be closing day here for the Preakness meet here at Pimlico. It's our holiday edition Monday. Memorial Day racing here on Monday, always a big day here at Pimlico. So we'll wrap things up here this Monday at Pimlico, and then we'll start back for the summer meet at Laurel Park Friday, June 9th, all the way through the summertime racing Friday through Sunday at Laurel Park. And you can watch the Belmont Stakes with us here at Laurel Park. Watch the 149th Belmont Stakes simulcast from New York. See who will conquer the final leg of the Triple Crown, mark their place in history. Watch and wager with special drink and buffet offers at Laurel Park. We'll have a special early post time for the Belmont card that'll be June 10th, Saturday, June 10th. We'll have a early 12:35 post time, and just less than 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks away. Yeah, you got a couple weeks away, and I'm sure the field is taking a little bit better shape. I'm not completely up to date on who's going to go, but should be a pretty good betting race, I would think.
I think Chad Brown might be have a couple nice ones in there. They're still considering, I think, with the Preakness champion Cloud Computing. I think he had the Peter Pan winner up there as well. Of course, Chad Brown, that's his home base up there, Pletcher's home base. There'll be a bunch of new shooters in the Belmont Stakes. Always a good race for 3-year-olds going 1.5 miles the first time sometimes the first and only time they'll go in 1.5 miles. So should be a great race up there at Belmont. So if you can't make it up to New York, you can watch all the simulcast action with us at Laurel Park. We'll have live racing that day as well as the Laurel meet. The summer meet starts Friday, the day before the Belmont, Friday, June 9th. So let's show you what else is coming up here for Monday. We're going to have mandatory payouts here, closing day of the Preakness meet here at Pimlico this Monday for Memorial Day. Racing tomorrow and Monday. Mandatory payouts on all carryover wagers, Super High Five, Late Pick 5, Rainbow Pick 6. The Rainbow Pick 6 carryover today, a little over $700.
Yeah, and we'll kick a few thousand into it today, I'm sure. Maybe we'll get a little carryover in the money to spike some interest. But always some good wagers. Love the Late Pick 5 bet here, the 12% takeout. It's a good one. Tough little card, though, ahead of us today, Stan.
It's a tough card. We have a bunch of video spotlights to get to. But real quick, if you missed out on getting your Preakness gear, 50% off on all Preakness gear today, tomorrow, and Monday here at Pimlico in the gift shop. You can't beat that. Preakness 142 gear, 50% off.
We get a little extra 25 for employee discount added to that, maybe.
Anything's possible.
Got to get some, stocking stuffers for next year.
I have a hat. It would be cool to get maybe a nice shirt or something.
Yeah.
So Preakness gear, 50% off today, tomorrow, and Monday. The last 3 days here of the Preakness meet at Pimlico. There's Sheldon Russell looking tall there. And who else is in there? Who's on
It's
that?
like Forest Boys. Yeah.
Forest, and then the apprentice Jen Miller looking good. And some Preakness 142 gear. So go to the gift shop, 50% off all your Preakness gear. You can't beat that. All right, let's get right to it here. One carryover today, the Rainbow Pick 6. That's going to start race 5 today on our 10-race program. $703 carryover in that. The late Pick 5, that's going to start race 6. The weather right now is beautiful. I'm going to say, 70s and sunny. It's clear. They're calling for maybe a scattered thunderstorm or something this afternoon, but we're fast and firm. Let's show you the track conditions right now. Perfect fast track on the main surface, and then the turf yesterday was yielding, but it's dried up pretty nicely for today.
Yeah. I mean, we'll start at a firm right now. Once again, monitor. But then nice job on the turf course. Yesterday had it rolled. Some divots going up, a little bit of give to the ground, a little bit more better temperatures today. The sun's coming out. We'll be hedging towards firm, but fast and firm for today's racing card.
All right, first race post time is 1:10 for 10 races. Let's get right to it here. Race 1 starts the rolling Super High Five. Super High Five has a low 15% takeout. Race 1 also kicks off the early Pick 5. It's a mandatory payout on the early Pick 5, and just like the late Pick 5, both Pick 5s here at Laurel Park, your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. We're on the turf here for the opener, 3 and up, wide open, claiming 7,500, going 5 furlongs on the turf with the rail at 15 feet today on the turf course. Let's take a look here at my top pick. That's we have a video spotlight here on the 2. It's a Plane. This was his first race coming off the layoff, May 6th at Laurel Park on a yielding turf course. He was in cover all the way down the backstretch, and there he is down there on the inside, turning for home. He has a little seam there, and he's finishing with some run, but then he kind of has a horse come over in front of him. He's got to go around that horse. Gets up for a good third, only beaten 3 parts, and now he's got to duck back in. Gets only beaten about 3 parts of a length. Now the 7-pound apprentice Carlos Carrasco back aboard today for trainer Hector Sarmiento. This horse should run better second off the layoff. Now Carrasco's going to have to navigate a good trip from the inside. He's most likely going to be covered up down the backstretch again. Hopefully he can angle out and get a clear lane turner for home on the outside.
83-1 last time, Stan. You'll hold some value here. This horse will still go off, I think, closer to double digits. Decent field, and you look back at his turf races. I know he's only got 1/3 out of 6 turf tries, but he's been kind of hampered by some trips, some flows of the races, and there's plenty of speed in today's opener with the likes of War Destiny, Pomeroy's package. Q will have speed. My vet said genius. He should get a good trap. He should like it today, and I expect, as we talked about, these horses, they have a little bit sharper rally over this turf course than over at Laurel, more often than not at the 5 furlong distance. I'm going to use the 2. It's a Plane. I also like the 7, Political Farce, for trainer Wayne Potts. I think Political Farce has just faced better horses day in and day out in his turf races. A little drop from 12 down to 75. He's a tactical type. I think he'll be able to draft a little bit closer to the rail and save some ground around the turn before launching a run. Just kind of even behind the speed. Speed's carried pretty good on April 23rd in that 5.5 furlong sprint over at Laurel, but I think this little drop will get him back onto his game. He comes anywhere close to his better races, he gets the job done.
Yeah, he's the horse to beat. A little bit of a drop, second off the layoff, gets a much better outside post than my top pick here, the 2. Lane Luzzy should get a nice trip there on the 7. We both like the 6, Q. We know what we're going to see from Q most likely. He'll show speed early, but he's been having a problem finishing his races, but he'll be in good position turning for home. This will be his second start off the layoff for trainer Lacey Gaudette, so maybe he's able to go a little bit further today with Toledo aboard.
Yes, and plenty of speeds, but he may have the advantage to maybe kind of track the speed a little bit closer to his inside. We've seen him come from just off the pace. I'm wondering, he gets a little firmer ground this afternoon. Is he still going to have that finish? He's going to be softened just a little bit, but certainly a dangerous type at the 5 furlong distance. And you're looking at the 3, Pomeroy's package. I think his horse is going to take a lot of play in for Corey Jensen. Only tried to turf once, and that was way back in 2015 where he faced optional 2 other vans down at Gulfstream. Dueled through very good fractions against a good field and faded a little bit. But once again, pinned down inside. He's going to have to clear, I think, if he's going to do his best in this race.
All right, it's a nice wide open 7,500 turf sprint there in race 1 to kick off the early Pick 5. Race 2 kicks off the early Pick 4. 3 Pick 4s for you this afternoon. We're on the main track going 5.5 furlongs, claiming 5,000. Haven't won a race in 6 months
Yeah.
here. My top pick, the 4, Burning Mandate. This horse going to be your favorite for trainer Kimberly Gracie. Andrew Wolfson aboard. A sharp win 2 starts ago for 4,000 at Penn National. The Parks race last out. The horse didn't break very well. Was wide. Got up for a good third. Hopefully he'll break a little bit better and be a little closer early on today here.
Yeah, he and Fairy Cat get the condition because of winning for 4,000 at Penn National. Favoritism definitely going to go between these two. I think King of Versailles will be your clear third choice. But Burning Mandate needs to break a little bit better. I think he has a little bit more tactical speeds than Fairy Cat. Not a lot splitting these horses looking back at their Maryland races. One of these two. King of Versailles, though, he may get the early jump. You look at the internals last time, May the 12th, 23-246-2 comparatively to the 24-47-1. Stayed fairly close down inside, was under pressure chasing some okay types. May get the jump on the other two, but I like Burning Mandate in here, Stan, as well.
All right, we're both in agreement here. Same 4 horses. The 6 Fairy Cat, who we both like, beaten favored the last 2 starts at this level, but been hanging around. Toledo stays aboard for trainer Brandon McFarlane. Going to be well bet again today.
He will be, no doubt. He's going to be right around 2-1, 9-5. Looking at things, was 9-5 last time. Going to have to show a little bit more speed, maybe, to get up a little closer. I think this field doesn't have a ton of speed, so he'll be into the flow probably when they turn for home.
All right, so a nice beaten nickel there to kick off the early pick 4 in the second race. Let's turn the page. We get back out to the Turf 4 race 3, going a mile, rail at 15 feet, starter allowance, optional claiming 25,000. Video spotlight here on my top pick, the 1 Caps Val from the Dove Houghton barn. The horse didn't break very alertly. It was the first race coming back off a layoff in late April at Laurel. Didn't break very alertly. Got 18 lengths back early on in the race. Made up a lot of ground. Here he is chasing the front runner, Magician's Vanity, who's going to go on to win for Trombetta. But this horse, Caps Val, I think, ran a big race first off the layoff. Comes right back here at this same level. Should improve here again today. Steve Hamilton should get a nice ground-saving trip. Hopefully not as far back as last time.
No, looked in really good flesh there. And a nice stride leg kind of weaving in and out, and almost got to Magician's Vanity. Just needed a few more strides before he was going to go and buy that one. Shortens back up to a mile, but once again, we'll get a good enough flow with My Sangria right back into the race, who she hooked last time on that April 30th race. You're going to see Saida is in there. Once again, middle move. Will she be able to sustain is my biggest concern. But I think Caps Val, second time back, she's consistently run faster. We'll get the right kind of setup up front. I think she gets the job done. Saves a little bit more ground here with Hamilton and charges home.
We both like the 9 Capucine for trainer Milan Milosevic. Jevion Toledo gets aboard. Now this 4-year-old filly, she finished up her 3-year-old campaign, beaten favored her last 3 starts. I remember the day she won the maiden special weight last July at Laurel Park at 40-1.
Yeah.
I had her on my pick 6 ticket, and I was going to be the only ticket. I was going to hit it for about 15,000. I think there's a Dr. Detroit. I think I had a Ricky Violet horse I singled on.
Okay.
I think Jamie Ness beat me with a horse. I remember that vividly last July at Laurel Park. But this filly, a nice filly, she beat the maiden special weight company, a good second twice at this starter allowance level. She's had the winner off. She'll be better now probably as a 4-year-old. Milan does a nice job. He's been an exercise rider around here for a bunch of top trainers, and him and his wife Sonia do a nice job. They did a nice job with this filly last year. I think she'll have a big year as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I think she's going to flow right into it nicely. I think as we talked about the pace of the race, My Sangria goes, Saida, but I think Capucine, she's run well fresh before, saying this distance is going to hit her right between the eyes. I'm not really concerned about the layoff from October 28th. She'll make a move into it. Is she going to have enough to hold off, though, Caps Val in that last 16th of a mile?
Caps Val will be running, and I like the 4 in here. Seda for trainer Cal Lynch. Sheldon Russell gets aboard today. A nice maiden win over a good turf course at Laurel 2 starts ago. This level last out at Laurel Park, just an okay 4th. Paired up a couple similar buyers, though. I think she's in good form, and she'll be right there again today with Russell aboard.
Yeah, she'll have dead aim, I'm sure, turning for home. Might be right on the lead with if she makes a little bit earlier move after My Sangria. Chevrolet, the 2 I'm going to use. I like the right here, Forest Boys. She'll get a good tactical trip for maybe somewhere from mid-pack, I'm thinking, down inside before she tries to navigate a run through the last quarter of a mile. She's okay with a good ROI bar in Carl Duran. If you're looking for a bomb, maybe the 5, My Girl Trixie for Tony Ferrier. This horse, look at the breeding. First time for Ferrier by hat trick. 14% first time on the turf for this stallion out of a stakes place mare. The only sib to try the turf was 1 for 1. So that might be a live bomb shot first time going for Anthony Ferrier.
And I'll throw the 10 Spicy Girl Red into the mix. A sharp maiden win going long on the grass 2 starts ago. Ran okay last out in the slop. That was last December. Runs fresh today for trainer Hammy Smith, who gets one of the top riders on the turf around here, Horacio Caramano. So that's a nice starter allowance going a mile on the turf there in race 3. We have a bunch of nice turf races today. Let's get to another turf race here. Race 4 going a mile and a 16th on the turf rail at 15 feet. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. The middle pick 4 starts here. I know you like the middle pick 4 today.
Yeah, we've got a ticket here if we can show it, guys. It's a $36 ticket. Very manageable. Grab a friend, grab a beer, sit back and watch. Start out with a 1-7 in race 4. Croce d'Oro is probably going to be a solid favorite for Michael Stidham and Jockey Forest boys. 3 deep in race 5, 3 deep in race 6. 4 deep in race 7. I think it's a tough little race 7. I think anybody pretty much has a shot. A little price shot with Maryland's Best, the 5. I think this horse dropping back to the right level, 8-1 morning line, should hold around 6 or 8-1. Could blow it up there for the middle pick 4. $36.
Some nice betting races in this middle pick 4 sequence. The multi-race wagers have been being played very well here at Pimlico, just like they were at Laurel. So make sure you jump in. Middle pick 4 starting here in the 4th race. I go with the 7 on top here. Bombonero, Fergal Lynch aboard for Kelly Rubley. A good second against Maiden 32,000. 2 starts to go down there. Tampa had a little freshening after that race. The Maiden special weight last out at Laurel Park, just too tough. That was a tough field. Finds a little easier spot today. Second race back off that freshening for a good barn I like. Kelly Rubley does a nice job up at Fairhill. Fergal Lynch stays aboard today. I'll go with the 7, Bombonero, at a nice 5-1.
Agreed. The 1 and the 7 come out of that maiden special weight race on the 28th at Laurel Park. Just a stronger field than what everybody else has faced when going back and comparing and keying up some horses. I give the edge to the 1. I think he got the better of the 7 last time, does it again today. Your frustration 6, and you got a well-bred horse here just not panning out. Let's go ahead, put him in for the tag. The blinkers go on. He'll be forward. I think he's going to just set a really, really good trip. Maybe not necessarily on the lead, but just off of it for Jockey Forest boys. Cheyenne's Colonel, the winner in that race, came back to run 5th, I think, Preakness weekend in a stake and didn't really disgrace himself. Ran a decent number. I believe it was a 79 in the Murphy stake. So 1 or 7, the road goes through them.
Yeah, Forrest should get a nice ground-saving trip on the 1. I'll throw the 5 into the mix here. Zap to it from the David Nunn barn. His horses had a little freshening since that late March down there at Gulfstream against Maiden 25,000 company. A good second that day. Third the race before that. Edgar Prado was aboard for both starts. The Hall of Famer had a nice win here yesterday for trainer Robin Graham. Prado back on the 5, Zap to it. Figures to be right there. Yeah. David Nunn does a nice job around here.
He's done very well of late, and Zap to it, just kind of a grinding type of runner, not a real flashy type. Just he'll make his presence felt, a steady run from off the pace. Maybe the 8 at a big price for Goldberg. You usually don't get that too much. He's trying to get it back together in 2017. Kind of a underachieving year. I know can't be happy, but this horse steps back up. Tried the turf the first time last time. First time blinkers, an okay move, shortening up from a 1 1/8 to a 1 1/16. I like the little protect move in here. That number's a little bit better than I think that buyer, that 53, really shows there. I think pick 'em if you're looking for a price. This is the horse to use.
And you're getting good value on the 9, Tennessee Wildcat. We both like the Tennessee bred for trainer Hammy Smith. Sheldon Russell aboard, a good third in the turf debut, going a mile for the first time.
So you got to love it. His brother Gorey picks these horses out, a $2,200 purchase. Said it time and time again, nobody does more with less than these two. It's amazing. Nice, so if you're looking to get in the game and not spend a ton of money, I would be calling these guys because they do it each and every year. Tennessee Wildcat, a little bit of traffic though to get through the last 1/8 of a mile. I think this horse projects well in race 4. I don't know if he's quite as good as the 1, but he's gonna be a player through the last 1/8 of a mile.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll start with the Rainbow Pick 6. A little small carryover in the Pick 6 today. That starts race 5 today on our 10-race program. Then the late Pick 5 with that industry low 12% takeout starts in race 6. We'll start with those when we come back. All right, kind of a cool-looking commercial there for the Stronach Group, showing the Preakness, the Pegasus World Cup, all the big races that this company puts on every year, the big cap out there at Santa Anita. We have a beautiful Saturday afternoon here for you today at Pimlico. Hope you can come out here and enjoy the holiday weekend with some live racing here at Pimlico this weekend. Today, tomorrow, and Monday, we will have live racing for Memorial Day this Monday, closing day of the Preakness meet here at Pimlico. Mandatory payouts on all the Pick 6, late Pick 5, super high 5s on Monday's card. Then we go to Laurel Park Friday, June 9th, the day before the Belmont Stakes. Hope you can be there with us for that. Let's take a look. Race 5 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. A little over $700 carryover today. Here's my ticket, a very affordable $38.40 play. I'm going to single on my best bet, the three. Victory Chimes, Alex Centron aboard for Mary Appler, number 3. Victory Chimes here in race 5. I'm going to single on that horse, going 4 deep there in the 6th race. 3 horses there in race 7. Race 8's a nice starter allowance, going 2 turns on the turf. I'll go with 2 horses in there. And then race 9, a nice upper-level allowance feature of the day, 3/4 on the dirt. I'll go with the 4, Struth. And I love the 7, Any Court in a Storm. First off the claim for Scott Lake today. Going to run a big race. I'll go with the 4-7 and our allowance feature of the day there in race 9, going 4 deep there in the finale. So a $38 play for me here in the Pick 6. It starts right now here in race 5. Let's take a look here. So starter allowance, optional claiming $25,000 3/4 on the main track. We have a video spotlight here of a horse you like. I like this horse as well. I have the horse in the exact to the 5. Legal Precedent for trainer Mike Trombetta. 3rd race back off a long layoff.
Yeah, the number 6 that day kind of broke inward a little bit, a bump at the break. We're going to show this one more time to you. Number 6, just a little lean in and a little kiss to the horse to his inside, and then a little bump to the horse to its outside. This horse moves up into a quick pace, though, Stan, and never gives up. He was running hard. Trevor McCarthy, very aggressive with Legal President from the get-go after he corrected after that tough little break from the bumping incident. Challenges here in between horses, just can't hold off. Liberty Lane, though, going the better of the trio past the 16th pole, but dead game nonetheless, and that was a Larry Jones dropper, the favorite, fading off to the inside. Wayne Scott, I think we might see that horse Monday if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The Legal President, looking at this race, there is some speed, but not some predominant strong speed. This horse is going to be a forward a long way. It was dead game. And Trombetta, what, 2 winners yesterday?
Yeah. Trombetta having a big weekend. Had 2 winners yesterday. The 6, the horse to beat, Fergal Lynch, is going to get a much better trip probably than my top pick. The 3, Victory Chimes, my best bet. But I think the horse is in good form right now for trainer Mary Appler, who's stabled here at Pimlico. The horse went turf to dirt last out. A very impressive maiden win against maiden 40,000 claimers. Got a 73 buyer in that race. Now, since that win at Laurel Park, breaking his maiden, a nice half-mile work, 48-4, May 19th here at Pimlico. Mary Appler with horses that have won their last start, 23% to win right back again. My only concern is the inside post. Centron might have his hand forced here early with the 3, Victory Chimes.
Got a horse dead to the rail, dead to the inside on the rail. Let me see. That looks like he's going to flash speed. Last year broke the maiden debut. over this course with sharp speed. Victory Charms, I don't think necessarily needs a stand, but he might need that horse on the inside to go ahead and clear off so he can just kind of rate just behind. I mean, you look at his buyers on the dirt, 31, 54, up to a 73. A really vastly improving type on the main track. This horse, Talk to Mary Epler, didn't like that yielding going at all on April the 8th on the turf course at Laurel. Yeah, moving in the right direction. If he jumps up again, they're not going to beat him. I mean, Clubman's okay for Jason Egan. He's a horse that's run in the 70s and some tougher maiden special weight sprints over at Laurel.
Your top pick here, I overlooked the 7 Stay Home, an impressive debut win for maiden 16 for trainer Linda Rice. Kieran claimed the horse. They ran in a tough allowance race last Saturday on Preakness Day. It didn't go that well in the mud. But runs right back in a much easier spot today.
Yeah, there's just the level, holding at the level, a protect move, not in for the tag, wheeling right back. Major excuse in debut. Had one with something left, real green. There was a reason, obviously. They snuck this horse in for 16. But the fact that he's wheeling them back quick, Kieran, look at this percentage. 1 to 7 days, 45% from an 11-horse sample with a positive ROI. Did make a little move in a much better field just a week ago. So, yeah. I think this horse, with the right kind of setup, will be running late. He's your price shot. The horse clearly to beat, though, I think, is Victory Chimes.
Well, Kieran McGee with horses running back in 7 days from an 11-horse sampling. They're 45% with a positive ROI. So he's having a nice meet. McGee, no surprise. He's stabled here at Pimlico. Let's see if the 7 Stay Home can get back in good form. And we both like the 6 Legal President. Nice starter allowance there to kick off the pick 6 in race 5. Let's turn the page. Race 6 kicks off the late pick 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. No carryover today, but it was played well yesterday with that small carryover. They hit it for a little shy of 10,000 yesterday. It'll get played well with this card today. Bunch of nice races on the grass, 10 race cards. So jump into this late pick 5 with that low 12% takeout. Starts in race 6, going a mile on the turf with the rail. Here's my late pick 5 ticket. Thanks, guys. I'll go 3 deep here in races 6 and 7. Then race 8, Aki on the this is the Hammy Smith horse in race 8 I love today. Yeah, Andrasta ran a winning effort last out. Just got beat a whisker on a yielding turf course. 3rd start back off the layoff today. Aki on the 10. Andrasta then going 3 deep in race 9, using 4 horses there in the 10th race. A $54 play for me here in the late pick 5. Let's take a look. Race 6, maiden claiming 16,000. Filly Mares going a mile on the turf with the rail at 15 feet. I go with the 7 here. Kazi Cottonwood, I'm picking my main man, Charlie DeMario on top. He's due. Kevin Gomez gets aboard this 3-year-old filly. She's had a few races under her belt. She's been running well 8 times so far this year. 1 turf race under her belt so far this year. That was at this level, maiden 16, 2 starts ago, going a mile at Laurel. A good 3rd that day at 32-1. We won't get that quite a bigger price today, but a nice 8-1 price here on the 7, Kazi Cottonwood.
You're going to hold value because of the connections, no doubt about it. I think it would be nice to see Charlie get off the Schneider. He's over for 33.
Gets a good rider with Kevin Gomez.
Yeah, this horse is okay. I mean, comparing, you just straight up looking at numbers in this field, there's not a whole lot separating. There's nobody sticking out. This is a tough race to really even figure out what the flow, the pace is going to be. But we saw yesterday, this horse was a little bit softer, this turf course. And you could win up on the front end. And Rescue Cat, the 11, I think might just kind of ditto the performance of Gala's Bank at a square price. Gala's Bank, and I believe at 11-1 yesterday for Corey Jensen. Rescue Cat, and an excuse was bump, some trouble early in a sprint, stretches back out. I think Brad top and bottom to handle a distance of ground, has the Lasix and the blinkers on with a clean break. If she might be able to just sit just off His Majesty or just go ahead and get to the front. This race is a race I think she can steal. That's the 11. Rescue Cat, get out, get over, and dictate.
Good betting races. Yeah. Wide. These maiden 16s come up a bit soft. They're wide open. You can get some good value. The Maldonado Barn's been on a roll recently. Trainer of the 11 Rescue Cat gets a top rider. Alex Sen trying to aboard. He knows how to walk the dog up on the front end early. So I overlooked that runner. We both like the 6 here. Chamberlain Road here for trainer Mark Salvaggio. Was running some okay races on the turf last year at Laurel and Gulfstream against much better company. Maiden special weight, maiden 35,000 claimers.
You see Winter running against this horse on the dirt, but unfazed. A couple of these other horses that she ran against last year year have gone on to do okay. She's back to her preferred surface for Salvaggio. He's been a little bit cold winning any races in Maryland over the last couple of years, but Chamberlain Road, she certainly fits somewhere from mid-pack. She'll make a move into it. In the 8 Crags, another one proven in New York. The numbers are there, mid 60, then middle 50s. That's all it's going to take to win. Craig's kind of, another one that might fall a little bit further back off the pace. She's might have to make up a little too much ground, but just straight up looking in her numbers, she fits.
She fits, and the 2, Theta Soul, has to wake up here eventually. By Turf Sire, Perfect Soul, the damn Theta Smile. She was a solid allowance runner going long on the turf around here, made a bunch of money for the Bonifaces. This filly's had a little problem at the break in her 2 starts. She dwelled in her first start. She didn't break. She didn't load very well her last start, didn't break very well, so she's been giving up a lot of ground early on. This will be her second start. The dropping from maiden 40 to maiden 16. That's a big drop. This will be her second start going long on the turf. They put the blinkers on. They get Sheldon Russell aboard. Hopefully, if this filly can figure out the gate issues, she'll be okay, I think, at this level.
And the blinkers go on. The flow's going to be okay. You said a clean break is going to be the key. She made a move into some quicker fractions than the rest of these fillies are accustomed to running. So Theta Soul, the drop's going to pick her head up, and she'll be forward, I think, a pretty long way.
All right, let's turn the page. Race 7 is going to kick off the late pick 4 here this afternoon. We have a couple nice races coming up here. Starter allowance in race 8, nice 2 other than allowance in race 9. So we'll breeze through this race here to kick off the late pick 4. We have a video spotlight here for the 7th race. This is a claiming 16,000, 3 life, going 3/4 on the main track. And I'm going to go, you I think like the 7 Moon Spell here. Here's the video from May 7th.
Okay, so this is this the May 12th? No, this is the May 12th. And we have another video in here, Stan, of another horse.
Okay, all right, this isn't Moonspell. All right, well, let's kill this video here, guys. But Moonspell in this race for trainer Edwin Merriman, Fergal Lynch aboard today. I used the horse in my top 3. Where do you pick Moonspell?
Moonspell, I'm going to pick second. I think Moonspell getting back to what he likes to do best, and that is sprinting. You go back to the February 12th race going 7 furlongs. I made a couple moves in that race to win clear. He's going to be a factor from somewhere just off. But I think Maryland's best. If you're looking for a price shot, newer barn here, Jesus Cruz for Javier Contreras. The 2-back try with the Lasix on was good. It was a good effort. Enduring Warrior, Spites Hill is kind of a key horse amongst these types. Just bit off way too much the more he could chew last time, Stan. May 4th, look at 2 Charlies, Dancing with Maud. Winning buyer was an 86. I think this horse slips through the cracks, gets a good stalk and pounce type of trip.
It's a wide open 16,
wide open race.
3 life here. I'll go with the 6-1 shot on the inside. The Hall of Famer Prado is going to need to work out a good trip from the rail here for trainer Ferris Allen. But Legends Hope, a good second at this level in the last start, only beaten a half length. Figure right back in the same condition, same distance. Figures to be right there. Decent half-mile work. May 23rd at Laurel, 49-4. So the horse is sitting on a big race. Likes to sit about mid-pack stalk. Just going to need a good trip from the inside.
Absolutely. He was able to run down some horses. Just missed last time out. Gavin Street sends another speed. Nathan the Great, speed. Pistol Posse for Kieran is freshened up, holds the level. Another one that can make a run. This, in the multi-races, this is probably an all. I mean, there's no way I can really single him. Iredell, he's running consistently probably better than these horses, better numbers, short, long, turf, dirt, it doesn't matter. The scary thing is he's dropping them back for 16. Looks like a really useful horse for the summer. That scares me a little bit.
All right, so go deep there in race 7, 16,000, 3 life, wide open, 3/4 on the main track. All right, nice turf race for you. Race 8, starter allowance, optional claiming 16,000, going a mile and a 16th on the turf with the rail at 15 feet. Let's take a look here at my top pick. Here's the video from May 6th. This was a winning effort that Andrasta won. Here she comes. She was she came wide this day with Sheldon Russell aboard. Just gets up on the outside, beating a head bob. It looks like she wins, but she gets beat her nose. This was her second start back off the layoff. It was her first try going long again off the layoff. This was on a yielding turf course. She'll get a firm. Look at this. Looks like she wins on the outside there. Just gets beat a tough
beat.
If you had her on top that day, that was a tough beat. Beating a head bob whisker. Third start back off the layoff today. Russell will get a trouble-free trip out there in the clear. Hopefully not too wide. You like the horse as well.
I'm definitely going to use Andrasta. The post scares me a little bit. She's going to be out there hung out. Hopefully she can draft in. There's not a ton of speed. You got Participate that'll go out towards the front. I Dream of Lois. I think Minnesota second off the break. just missed in that real blanket finish in that May 6th race at Laurel. She's faced a little bit better. She needed that race. I think she's going to have a little stronger finish than the rest. Given this extra 16th of a mile, she keys up against the right types down at Keeneland, Tampa. But I Dream of Lois, I really fear Stan the 2. I went back and looked at her race. You see starter 16s, that allowance at A. Other than Realistic is a horse that's came back and ran big at Aqueduct. Unfazed is another one. Those are tougher races. This is a drop in class for the 2 I Dream of Lois, and there's not a lot of speed in here. She's going to be dangerous. The mile, I would probably take her on top. It's that last 16th is the main concern for her, but she figures to sit a really, really good trip. Real gritty effort in that race taken off the turf last time.
And, the trainer, David Dunn, perfect 2 for 2 here at the Preakness meet here at Pimlico. All right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 9. That's a nice starter allowance going long on the turf there to kick off the final pick 3, race 9. A nice feature of the day here. 2 other than allowance, optional claiming $25,000, going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's take a look here. My top pick. Here's his race from May 14th here at Pimlico. Any Court in a Storm. He always finds himself so far back. Here he is, way back there on the inside, turnover home. Look at the run he makes, come splitting horses here. Finishes this race full of run with Fergal Lynch aboard. This was against Open 20,000 claiming. Look at it. You don't think the horse is going to get anywhere close. Now he comes flying in between horses there. Now a late surge there. He's still flying, running over horses. A good second that day. Now first off the claim for trainer Scott Lake. Hopefully Any Court in a Storm not as far back early on today. Fergal Lynch aboard should get a nice come-from-behind trip on the outside.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. Had a little trouble in that race, too, staying out of the gate. The horse kind of got in a little tight, had to be rated back, and he dropped well off of it under some hustling. But once he leveled off the last eighth of a mile and found some room, he really charged arm well. I expect another good late run from him with some speed in this race with the likes of Classic Salsa, plenty of elusive Saratoga Jack, and even the Great Provider to have a really good flow up front. But Struth, who we also saw the winner in that video, looks tough right back. Kieran McGee, tough off the claim, well spotted. Another one, just going to probably get first run on the speed. I like Struth. He's tough at this level. And it hits him right between the eyes.
It sure does. He gets Caramanos aboard. First off the claim for Kieran. Struth, 2 for 2 here at Pimlico. He really has found a new dimension, not having to go to the front like he used to in his earlier races. He can rate, get a nice stalking trip. So Struth in top form right now. 7-4 for me, 4-7 for Keith. I think those are the best 2 horses here in the race. We both like the 5 Classic Salsa. Javion Toledo aboard for Lacey Gaudet. This looks like a nice claim last down. That was a nice win against First Level Allowance Company, going 3/4 at Laurel and 1:10-2. That's a fast time. 1 for 1 here at Pimlico. Classic Salsa figures to be tough in this group.
Look at Lacey off the claim of recent note, 36% ROI over $13. That's huge. This horse ran much better than what I thought he did, what he was going to do last time. Sharp effort up a little bit in that tag. Classic Salsa. This is another really good race. What do you do with Saratoga Jack? He's got 188 buyer, a 92 there on the grass, freshened up. This horse looked like he could have been any kind for a barn now that wins with horses off of lengthy layoffs. Can do it. Good race, race 9.
Nice
race.
Allowance feature of the day there to kick off the late daily double. Another turf race for you here. Race 10 going a mile and a 16th on the grass rail at 15 feet. Maiden claiming 25,000. 3 and up. I go with the 5. Don't Poke the Cat. These connections, Hall of Famer Edgar Prado and Robin Graham, they teamed up for a nice price winner yesterday. I think Don't Poke the Cat figures to be right there. An 0 for 12 maiden, but it's been hanging around at this level. A decent 4th last out first turf start this year at this level. Only beaten a length and 3/4 of a length on a good turf course at Laurel. Gets a firm turf course today. I'll go with the Kentucky bred, the 5. Don't Poke the Cat.
Yeah, I just backed into the Big City Blues by default. At least he's shown a little bit of a new dimension to be able to rally from the back of the pack. A mile and an eighth, shortening up to a mile and 16. Some questionable speed types up front. You've got, as you said, Don't Poke the Cat over 12. Copper Wired 0 for 19. Some of Copper Wired's better races would get it done, but he's tough to take on top. I'm going to use. I see improvement though from the 1 Looks Like Simon and the 2 Smash and Dash. They're much better than what their last race has shown.
I used the 9 in my top 3. Carlos Quinones, he had a nice win here this weekend.
Yeah.
He had a nice win riding for a good barn, so you have to like the 9. I throw the 4 into the mix here. Laps, Mike Pino throwing the kitchen sink at this 3-year-old son of Blame. First time gelding, blinkers on, gets a top rider. Jevion Toledo coming off a little bit of a freshening. The debut was back in early March down there at Gulfstream, going long on the dirt against Maiden 25,000 Company. Now we're trying long on the turf. So lots of changes here for the 4 laps. For strong connections, I think.
No, by Blames. The Blames can handle the turf. 16% first time when they try the turf for that stallion. So another wide open race. Good betting card on tap. Best of luck to you. I mean, you've got to spread quite. You've got to spread around quite a few of these races. Some big value, some decent payouts. I would think, especially in the multi-race. Even a string of 3 or 4 to 1s is going to get you a nice payout today.
Should have a strong handle indeed here on our 10-race card. Fast and firm. We got to keep those thunderstorms away. Hopefully, we'll have a nice crowd out here enjoying the races on this holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend here. Live racing today, tomorrow, and Monday. Make sure you join us here Monday. The gift shop has all your Preakness gear 50% off. Dave Rodman, he's coming up next with all of today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.